Hi everyone, the health tip this week is going to be an actual rhyme that one of my longtime patients had mentioned to me last week. She goes, oh yeah, back when I was doing my detox, I did these three things, and it actually rhymed, so things that rhymed with eat. So she said, what I do is I eat less meat, less sweet, and less wheat. And I'm right on board with all of those. So these are actually just general good health topics. So why less meat? Well, I mean, we do need protein, and that's one thing we should be doing. If you are going to eat meat in your diet, obviously the recommendations would be try to find what we call grass-fed, whole sources of beef or dairy or bison, venison, poultry. The grass-fed, free-range. Ones that are eating their traditional, the natural diet, what they should actually be eating. So less meat, just because a big steak like that might be a little too much. Usually we're talking about something the size of your hand, right? So if it's one chicken breast or one piece of meat or salmon that you would cut up into slices or something like that, that's kind of what we're looking at as far as not overwhelming your body with too much protein. Less sweet, as we know. Cancer's number one fuel source is glucose. They're obligate glucose user, and spiking your insulin levels with high fructose corn syrup, and sweets and sugars and all those kind of things. Diet of our kids these days. So less sweet. That's just that's a no-brainer. Let's try to limit as much refined sugar as we can. Try to go to the alternatives as much as possible, like stevia. Monk fruit is my favorite, also xylitol. Less wheat. So of course, as you guys know, if you've seen my previous videos, pretty much any kind of conventional wheat now has been sprayed by the Roundup ready pesticides, and most of wheat is actually genetically modified now, and you have to look for 100% certified organic to not have that have happened to it. But even just conventional wheat now, they're often spraying it, even if it's they say it's non-GMO, they're still spraying the traditional wheat crops now just before they're harvesting, just to desiccate them, they say, to make them a little drier, easier to harvest. So, and wheat isn't the only culprit, so really, it doesn't rhyme, but it should actually be just grains in general. So all grains basically. If you can get back to like traditional ancient grains and try to limit those, but use those as much as as a substitute to having just wheat and whole wheat flour and whole wheat breads and whole wheat whatever, all that kind of stuff, and just try to go for the ancient grains if that's possible, and try to limit your wheat and your sweets and your meats. So there's your detox rhyme for the week. I just thought it was kind of funny that she mentioned that. So her name is Mira. She's been coming to me for quite a while, and she said, yeah, go ahead and use it. It's pretty funny. So I actually thought it was pretty good, and I thought I'd just use that as the health tip for the week. So there's your rhyme. We'll see you next week. If you liked the video, please share it. And down below you can click on the button to see the archives of all the previous health tips that I've done. We'll see you next time. Bye.